Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to make this trending basque bubu kaftan with a front pleat. You don't need any pattern to make this dress. This is a freehand tutorial, and if you are a beginner, this video is for you. I make this video a very detailed one so everybody can understand it. This is the one I recreate here. As you can see, I use African print Ankara here. If you want it fuller like the one on the thumbnail, I will advise you to get a fabric with 60 inches length. There are some fabric that has about 60 inches or 59 inches in length instead of the Ankara, which is 45 inches. For this tutorial, these are the measurements you need to take. You need your shoulder measurement, your shoulder to the under bust, your shoulder to the knee length, your sleeve length, your round sleeve, your round hip, and your gown length. These are the measurements you need to take for this tutorial. So these are the material we are going to be using for this tutorial. So here is a plain fabric. You can use any plain fabric. I'm going to use it for the front. So here is the Ankara we are using. We have 6 yards here. So I'm going to be using about 5 yards. I will not be using the whole 6 yards. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the 6 yards. Remember, the length is 45 and the length of the gown I'm working with is 60 inches. So I'm going to open the length of the Ankara like this. Just open the 6 yards, open it, then you are going to fold the length into 2. You are going to fold that 45 inches, you are going to fold it into 2. This is the edge of the Ankara here. So you are going to take the second edge here, you are going to fold it like this. Make sure the right side is facing each other. So you are going to fold it like this. So make sure you arrange it very well. The first thing to do now is to cut out the back. After folding it into 2, this is what we have here. So from this upper part, I'll place my tape now. I'll place my tape like this. Then I'm going to measure my gown length. The gown length is 60 inches. So we are going to measure your own gown length. So you are going to mark 60 inches. After that, you are going to add extra 2 inches for folding allowance. So in total, I have 62 inches. So I'm going to connect that 62 inches into a straight line. Then I'm going to cut it out. So after you are done cutting it out, this is what we have now. This is the length of the fabric. Remember, it's 60 plus 2 inches, making 62 inches. So remember, it's still on fold. You are going to mark a straight line. So this straight line will be the shoulder line and it's going to be the starting point. So all the measurements will be starting from the folded parts. Remember, the fabric is folded into 2. The first thing I'm doing here is I'm going to mark my shoulder divided by 2, which is 8. The shoulder is 16 divided by 2 is 8. From that 8 inches, you are going to mark your sleeve length. My sleeve length is 11 inches. I added extra 2 inches, making 13 inches. So from the shoulder divided by 2, you are going to mark 13 inches. Now from the sleeve length, you are going to mark your round sleeve. My round sleeve is 16 inches. I added 2 inches to it, making 18 inches. Instead of dividing your round sleeve by 2, I marked the exact measurement, which is 18 inches. We are going to put elastic on that part and it's going to be our normal round sleeve. After that, you come back to the first line, which is the shoulder line. You check whatever you have there. I have 21 inches. You are going to mark that 21 inches on the 18 inches we marked, and you are going to connect it into a straight line like this. So after that, you come back to this folded part here. From the first line, you are going to mark your neck width. The neck width I'm using is 3.5 and the depth is 1 inch. You are going to connect it together like this. And after that, you are going to add ½ inch on this point because you need the ½ inch to join to the front. After that, you come back to this place and you are going to come in by 2 inches. This is for our elastic casing. So the next thing is to come back to the first line, which is the shoulder line. You are going to mark your shoulder to the knee line. The shoulder to the knee line I'm working with is 36 inches. So I'm going to mark 36 inches starting from the first line. After marking it, you are going to connect it to have a straight line like this. So on that line, you are going to mark your hip divided by 4, and you are going to add extra 7 inches or 6 inches. So after that, you are going to take the total of whatever you have there. I have 17 and a half. You are going to take it to the hem of the fabric. You are going to take it to the length of the fabric. After that, you are going to connect it to have a straight line like this. So this is what we have at this point. Now for the cowl effect, you are going to come from this point. Now you are going to take it up to meet the 2 inches we marked for the sleeve side. So you are going to curve it like this. Just watch what I did there. You are going to get it. This is not hard. So now this is how to get the cowl effect if this is what you want. But I'm not going to be using a cowl effect because I'm using Ankara fabric and the length is 45 inches. If you are making the exact one on the thumbnail, I will advise you to get a length of 60 inches. When you are getting your fabric, get the one with 60 inches length. I'm going to clean all these markings now, and I'm going to come back to show you the next thing that we need to do. So here, this is what we have after I am done cleaning it. So come back to the knee line. You are still going to mark your hip divided by 4. Then you are going to add extra 7 to 8 inches to this. So I'm going to mark 7 inches. After that, you take whatever you have here. I have 17 and a half. So I'm going to come back to this point, the 18 inches that we marked earlier. So I'm going to connect it to have a straight line. Then I'm going to mark that 17 and a half on that part as well. So this is it now. So that 17 and a half, I'm going to take it from the chest line, which is the 18 inches we mark. You are going to mark it to have a straight line. Then this point here, you are going to come down from that part by 2 inches, and you are going to connect it to have a curved like this. So this is what we have now. This is it here. After that, you are going to cut it out. Don't forget to add your ½ inch on the shoulder line. So this is it now. Then you cut it off. After cutting it out, this is what we have. Don't forget to fold in your 2 inches you had for the folding on the hem line. After that, you are going to come to the neckline here. You are going to measure whatever you have from this point now. From the shoulder line, you are going to mark whatever you have. After marking what I have around the neckline, I have 4 inches. Please take note because you are going to need that 4 inches when you are cutting the front. Now we need to cut out the design on the front. To cut the front, you are going to take your pattern and fold it into 2. You can do this directly on your fabric, but because this is a tutorial, that's why I'm using a pattern paper. So after folding the paper into 2, you are going to measure your shoulder measurement divided by 2. Mine is 8 inches. After dividing my shoulder into 2, so I've marked the 8 inches, but I will advise you to add ½ inch to that or 1 inch, because if you don't add it, you are going to have a shortage on the front. So after that, you are going to come to this straight line here, the upper part, and place your tape, and you are going to mark 4½ inch. Remember, we marked 4 inches for the back that I said we are going to need later. This is the time. So you are going to add ½ inch to that 4 inches, making 4½. So I've marked the 4½. So from that 4½ now, and I'm going to mark my shoulder to my under bust. So the shoulder to the under bust is 16 inches, and I've marked 16 inches. So from that line now, I'm going to come down by 4 inches for the basque effect. Remember, there is basque effect on the style inspiration that we are working with. So this 4 inches now, you are going to connect it to meet up with the shoulder divided by 2 that we mark. So you are going to connect it like this. So this is what we have now. After that, you are going to come to this first line. You are going to mark your neck width there. The neck width I'm using is 3½. I've marked the 3½. And the neck depth for the front, remember we are marking the neck depth for the front, I use 8 inches, but I will advise you to use 9 or 10 inches. After marking your neck depth, you are going to come back to the neck width. Remember the 3½. So you are going to go up by 4½ inches. Just mark a straight line like this. So after that, make sure you have 4½ inches. The 4½ that we have for the back, remember we have 4 inches, and you need to add ½ inch to join it. So from that 4.5 inch, you are going to go out. You are going to go out by 1 inch. Remember, our back is not straight, so you are going to go out by 1 inch, and that 1 inch you are going to connect it to meet the neck width like this, just a slanted line. So you are going to clean the straight line. We just use the straight line for the guide. So after that, this is what I have there. This is how your neck, the back neckline is supposed to be. Remember, our back neck, if you touch it, is not straight. So from that point now, you make sure you mark your 4.5. Make sure you have 4.5 there. So from that 4.5, you are going to mark how wide you want the collar for the back, how wide you want the collar to be. So I want mine to be 2.5 inch. So I've marked the 2.5 there. So that 2.5, you are going to connect it to meet the neck depth. So you are going to connect it like this to meet the 8 inches we mark for the front. So this is what we have. After that, the next thing to do now is to just curve this part. Remember, the shoulder is not straight, so you are going to curve this part like this. After that, you are going to cut it out. I have a Telegram channel that I created for you all. If you want, or you have a video you want me to recreate for you, I'm going to leave the link under the description of this video. After you are done cutting it out, you are going to come to this point here. The shoulder to the under bust line, remember, is 16 inches. So you are going to take notes of all these measurements. So to pleat the front, so I'm going to multiply the 16 inches by 2.5. And you are going to mark the basque length as well. So I have 9 inches on the basque length, and I'm going to multiply that by 2.5 as well. So 9 multiplied by 2.5, I have 22.5. So this is what we are going to cut out on the fabric. So on this point now, 16 multiplied by 2.5, I have 40 inches. So let's go ahead to go and cut out the front. Now you can choose to slash the center open for the fabric that we are going to put on the front. You can decide to slash it open like this, or you can leave it in a one pieces. I just decided to slash it open like this so my neckline can relax very well. Remember, this is optional. So this is Ankara fabric. Now I already fold it into two. So now remember, the shoulder to the under bust, we said we are going to multiply that by 2.5, which is 40 inches. From the first line, you are going to mark your 40 inches there. That straight part is 40 inches, so you are going to mark 40 inches. So this is it now. Remember the length, I have 8.5 there, so I'm going to mark that 8.5 also. So this is what we have. From the folded part, you are going to mark 8.5. The next thing is the basque length. You are going to mark that 8.5. Remember, is to get to that 40 inches. So from that 40 inches, you are going to take your tape now, and you are going to slant it like you want to cut that basque effect, and you are going to mark that 22.5. After that, you are going to connect that basque length. You are going to connect it to meet that 40 inches. So this is what we have after we mark it out. So remember, this is where it ends, the basque effect. That is where it ends there. So you are going to take your pattern now, and you are going to check whatever you have there. From the shoulder to the basque length, you are going to measure what you have there together like this. So I have 20 inches there. From the shoulder to the basque length, I have 20 inches. So I'm going to place that 20 inches on the place that the basque end. You are going to place your tape there. You place the 20 inches there. Then you are going to measure the length of the gown. Remember, the length is 60 inches. After marking the 60 inches Don't forget to add your 2 inches for folding allowance. So I've marked the 60 and I add 2 inches too for the folding allowance. I'll connect it to have a straight line. After that, I'm going to cut it out. So this is what we have for the front. As you can see, the front is very long. Is like they multiply the back by 2. So this is it now. So after that, you are going to cut out the part we mark out. You are going to cut it out. So after cutting out, this is what we have. So don't worry, this place that is long, this is how we are going to pleat it. So when we pleat it, it's going to get to the length of the back, which is the 62 inches. So now this is the pieces I want to use for the front. So you are going to place your pattern on it now, and you cut it out. Make sure you add half inch on the both sides, because you need the half inch to join the front and the back. Make sure you add half inch to the length as well, because if you don't add the half inch, you are going to have a shortage. After cutting it out, this is what we have. I make sure I notch the neck depth for the front. So this is what I have. I've go ahead cut out another fabric. One will be for the lining and the other will be for the main fabric. So this is the neck depth here. I've notched it. Make sure you notch it on the both lining and the main fabric that you are using to do it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the lining to the lining and the main fabric to the main fabric. So you are going to place it like this. Make sure the notch is still together. Place them on each other like this. And you are going to take it to the sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it from the neck depth. You are going to sew it to the end. So this is it. After I am done joining the both together, this is what we have. Now you need to join the lining and the fabric together like this. After placing the fabric and the lining together, you are going to take it to your sewing machine now and go ahead to go and sew the neckline by 1/4 inch, or if you had half inch, you join the half inch as well. So you are going to sew it like this. You are joining the lining and the main fabric. So let's go ahead to go and do that now. So you are going to take it and sew it like this. When you get to the end of this point, you cross it like this, just a V. So this is it here. Then you take it down and go ahead to go and sew it. So this is it. After I have joined the both together like this is what we have. So I decided to use the shiny part for the lining and the plain fabric, the part that is not shiny, for the front. So now is to join the neckline, the both neckline. This is the neckline here. You are going to open it up and you are going to place it on each other like this. Make sure that the seam line aligns. Make sure the seam line aligns. Then you are going to pin it together like this. So after that, you take it to your sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it by the allowance you added. I added 1/4 inch. I'm going to sew it by the 1/4 inch. So this is it after I'm done joining it, and this is what we have now. So as you can see, the neckline, this is how the neckline is. So the next thing now to do is to shape the front part. So you are going to place the back on the front like this. Make sure that the folded parts aligns together. You are going to place the folded parts. You are going to place it on each other like this. Make sure you arrange everything. Just place it hem by hem. You are going to place the length together like this. Make sure they align at the hem part. So after that, you are going to shape the side now. So just shape the side of the front. You are using the back to shape the front. So this is it after I am done shaping it. This is what we have. As you can see, we have excess for the front that we are going to pleat. So after you are done shaping it, you are going to remove the back, then we work on the front. So this is it now. You are going to measure. I want to measure 22.5 for the basque part. After that, I will notch it. So this is where the basque starts. So after that, you are going to open up the fabric like this, making sure that you locate the notch part. So now make sure that the right side is facing the right side. So you are going to place it on each other like this. Make sure the right side is facing each other. Then you are going to locate the notch and you are going to place that the starting of the basque. You are going to pin it together with the front, the design on the front, and you are going to take the end here and you place it on this other end as well. So you are going to pin it together. So after pinning it, as you can see, we have excess on the Ankara fabric. So you are going to pin this excess to meet the length of the plain fabric. You can decide to pleat it big or pleat it a little small, depending on the pleat that you want. So after that, you are going to match the second part. You are going to place it like this. Make sure the right side is still facing each other. You place the notch part where the basque is starting from. That is where you are going to be placing it, and you place the other part as well, which is the straight part. You place it and you are going to go ahead to go and pleat it. So you can decide to pleat it little by little, or you can decide to use big pleats depending on what you want. I'll go to the sewing machine and go ahead to go and pleat it and come back to show you what we have after that. After pleating the straight part, this is what we have. As you can see, the pleat. So this is what we have for the both sides. This is what we have. I start my pleat from ½ inch from the shoulder line, because you remember we need to join the shoulder of the front and the back together, so you leave ½ inch for that. So now this is what we have next, is the basque line. That joining on the basque line will be the center. Then you are going to take that part on that basque line, that curved part on the main fabric. You are going to place it together with the joining part. You place the center with the center of the main fabric with the center of the Ankara fabric. So I'm going to turn it now, and you make sure that that basque effect on the main fabric aligns on the main fabric, which is the Ankara fabric. You put the two together and you are going to pin it like this. So as you can see, the excess we have on the Ankara, you are going to pleat it on the plain fabric. You do the same thing on the both parts. So let me go ahead to go and pleat it and come back to show you what we have. So this is it after I am done pleating it. As you can see, this is what we have there. So this is it now. This is how the pleat is. So the next thing to do now is to join the front and the back together. But before you do that, you need to fold the back into two. Then you are going to notch the neckline. You are going to notch the center of the neckline. So this is the notch here. So now you are going to place the front and the back together like this. Make sure the right side is facing each other. So you are going to take the notch on the back. You are going to place it on the joining on the front. Remember, we joined the front. So you are going to place the two together. After placing it together, you are going to pin it together. You place the both notch. You are going to place it on each other like this. So from that part now, you are going to start pinning it together. You are pinning the front and the back shoulder line. You are pinning them together. After you are done pinning it, you are going to repeat the same process for the other side. After pinning the other side, you are going to take it to the sewing machine and go ahead to go and join it by quarter or half an inch, depending on the allowance you added. Make sure you join it very well. So I'll go ahead to go and sew it, then come back to show you the next thing to do. Just take your time. When you are doing this, make sure you don't rush. So this is it after I am done joining it. As you can see, this is what we have. This is what we have on the both shoulders. As you can see, the neckline as well. So this is it here. This is how it is. So here on the sleeve, as you can see, I have a shortage on the front, and the shortage is caused because I did not add the allowance on the part that we join. So if you have excess like this, just cut it out. I'm sure it's not going to affect your sleeve length. So after cutting out the excess there, you are going to fold in that sleeve part that we want to put the elastic casing. So you are going to create a casing for your elastic. I will do the same thing for the other sleeve as well. I'll go ahead to go and do that. So this is it after I am done creating the casing for the elastic. This is what we have now. So this is the elastic I'm using. This is 1/2 inch elastic, and to know the amount of elastic you are going to cut out, you are going to measure your round sleeve and you remove 2 inches from it. So I have 2 for the 2 sleeve. So I'm going to be inserting the elastic with my pin. So I'll put the elastic inside the pin, then I will take it and insert it through the hole that we create for the elastic. When you are doing this, you have to take your time and make sure the second part of the elastic did not get inside the casing part. So when you get to this point that you notice that the second part of the elastic wants to get inside the casing, you are going to use pin to secure it. So use your pin to secure it like this. Then you continue inserting the elastic through the casing. So this is it now. This is what we have. The elastic is out on the other part, and you are going to pin it as well. You pin it because you don't want the elastic to go inside. So this is what we have now. So I'm going to repeat the same process for this other part. I will do it off the camera and show you the outcome. So this is what we have after I am done putting the elastic on the both parts. So the next thing I want to do now is to join the both sides, to join them together. So to do that, I'm going to pin the both sides. I'm going to pin them together. After you are done pinning the first side, you are going to do the same thing for the other side as well. After you are done pinning it, this is what we have now. So you are going to take it to your sewing machine now, and you are going to take it to your sewing machine and sew it by 1/2 inch. You do the same thing for this other side. You are going to sew it by 1/2 inch. So after you are done sewing the both sides, you are going to fold the hem as well. You are going to fold it by the 2 inches allowance we left for that part. After you are done joining the both sides together, the next thing is to add the belt. So I already cut out the belt I'm using. I have 2 belts here. To know the amount of fabric you are going to need for the belt, you are going to remove 10 inches from your round waist measurement. My round waist is 40. If I remove 10 from it, I have 30. So I cut 30 into 2 places. 30. So that is what I have there, and the length is 4 inches wide. So I fold it into 2 and I use 1/2 inch to sew it. So that is what I have there. So to add your belt, you are going to take your belt and you are going to place it at this point I'm touching here. This straight part, the shoulder to the under bust line, that straight part that ends before we mark our basque, that is where you are going to place your belt. After placing it, you are going to pin it together like this. So this is what you will have now. You do the same thing for the other side. So after placing it, you are going to take it to the sewing machine and go ahead to go and sew it. On the first line that we have the stitch line, that is the line that you are going to double stitch. So after sewing, I'm going to come back to show you the final look. So here, this is the final look of this gown. As you can see, the gown came out so beautiful. If you have watched this video to this point, thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Please, let's us grow together. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.